my name is Nathaniel Sangsler, and this is my presentation on four forces acting on an aircraft in flight. This is for Aviation 220 A01 for Liberty University. The first force we're going to talk about is lift. Lift opposes weight in straight and level, unaccelerated flight. When lift and weight are equal, an airplane is said to be in a state of equilibrium. Now, when we're talking about lift, we're going to talk about a couple different laws. And the first one we're going to talk about is Newton's 3 laws of force and motion. The first one is a body at rest tends to stay at rest, and a body in motion tends to remain in motion at the same speed and in the same direction. The second law is when a body is acted upon by a constant force, the resulting acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass of the body and is directly proportional to the applied force. And 3, every force applied to an object is opposed by an equal force in the opposite direction. Or as it is often stated, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Next we're going to talk about Bernoulli's principle. Daniel Bernoulli was a Swiss mathematician. He expanded on Newton's idea of fluids in his 1738 publication, Hydrodynamica. It describes the basic principles of airflow pressure and differentials. When velocity of a fluid increases, its pressure decreases, and air is a fluid. Now we're talking about airfoils. It alters the airflow over the foil. It creates a low pressure on the top, and that's what creates lift. The next force we're going to talk about is thrust. Thrust is the forward-acting force that opposes drag and propels the airplane forward. In general aviation planes, this force is provided when the engine turns the propeller. The same physical principles involved in the generation of lift also apply when describing the force of thrust. That's because of the propeller. Drag. Drag is the third force we're talking about. Drag acts opposite the direction of flight. It opposes the forward acting component of thrust and limits the forward speed of the airplane. There's a couple different types of drag we're talking about. We're talking about parasite drag. Parasite drag is caused by any aircraft surface that deflects or interferes with the smooth airflow around the airplane. The 3 types of parasite drag are form drag, interference drag, and skin friction drag. Let's start with form drag. It results from the turbulent wake caused by the separation of airflow from the surface of a structure. Interference drag occurs when the airflow around one part of the airplane interacts with the airflow around an adjacent part. Drag results when flow of air is moving at different speed or in different directions combined. Skin friction drag is caused by roughness of the airplane surfaces. Now let's talk about induced drag. Induced drag is generated by the airflow circulation around the wing as it creates lift. The fourth component we're talking about is weight. It's a fourth force. Weight is the force of gravity that acts through the center of the airplane toward the center of the earth. The weight of the airplane is not constant. It varies with the equipment installed, the passengers, cargo, and fuel load. During the course of a flight, the total weight of the airplane decreases as fuel is consumed. Now, when we're talking about this, we're also going to mention ground effect. Ground effect is a phenomenon associated with the reduction of induced drag. During takeoff or landing, when you are flying close to the ground, the air surface alters the 3-dimensional airflow pattern around the airplane, causing a reduction in wingtip vortices and a decrease in upwash and downwash. Since ground effect restricts the downward deflection of the airstream, induced drag decreases. Ground effect is most noticeable near the surface. It rapidly diminishes with height, fading out at about 1 wingspan from the surface. And just a couple more things about the force of flight. The 4 forces move in vectors, so up, down, back, or forward. In straight and level, on accelerated flight, lift equals weight and thrust equals drag. All forces are active during flight. And my references are the Guided Flight Discovery, the Private Pilot by Jeppesen at Boeing Company. My name is Nathaniel Sankson. Thank you very much.